Hello and welcome to another episode of Energy Express. I'm your host, Zach Harold. Today we're going to talk all about teeth. Dental hygiene is really important. So we're going to take a trip to WVU's School of Dentistry, where we're going to learn how to properly care for our teeth, learn about what a dental hygienist does, and look at some of the tools you might find in a dentist's office. Let's check it out.
Hello y'all, my name is Hunter Palmer. I'm a third-year dental student here at West Virginia University School of Dentistry. A dentist is someone who takes a look at your teeth, cleans them, as well as repairs them when something goes wrong. Typically the things that go wrong occur from bacteria, also known as a sugar bug, something that can make acid and get rid of a little bit of that tooth. We're here to make sure that those teeth remain healthy and that you can keep them so that your adult teeth will come in correctly. You don't want to get cavities because cavities can cause you pain as you bite down and chew your food or if you drink your favorite drink. Things like this can be very uncomfortable. These are very important reasons to hold on to those teeth and make sure that they're in top health. To avoid these cavities, we need to make sure that we're brushing the teeth at least twice a day. Also, we need to make sure that we're seeing the dentist every 6 months. Additionally, if you've had something sugary, the best thing to do is have a nice cup of water afterwards.
Hi there, my name's Reese Prezioso and I'm a WVU senior and I am studying dental hygiene. The dental hygienist is the person that often cleans your teeth. We help remove all of those bad sugar bugs from your teeth. And it's really important that you can clean your teeth at home the way we clean them at the dentist. So what you want to do is you want to start off with your brush and you're going to go to the front. You're going to do nice big circles and you're going to make it all the way around to the back. You continue to do big circles. And then we're gonna flip your toothbrush and we're gonna keep doing these big circles on these sides. And once we get all of the front sides of our teeth clean, we need to get the back too. So you're gonna open your mouth nice and wide. And you see I'm getting the back side of your teeth. And then you're also gonna get the bottom. And then after you do the front and the back of your teeth, you're also gonna do all the places you chew on your teeth too. So see? We're gonna get all of our chewing surfaces. And then last but not least, you wanna get your tongue. Your tongue can hold lots of sugar bugs that can create really bad cavities. So you always wanna make sure you clean that too. So now I'm gonna show you how to floss. So you're gonna take a long string of floss. You wanna make it about the length of your forearm here. And you're gonna take your 2 middle fingers and you're gonna wrap the floss around nice and tight. You're gonna make a nice tight line. And with your pointer fingers and your thumbs, you're gonna grab either side of the floss and hold it tight. And then from there, you're gonna wiggle it in between your teeth and create a C shape around each tooth and go back and forth in a seesaw motion. And you're gonna go through every single tooth. You even want to make sure you get the very back of your very last tooth. You want to wrap it around and create that C with a seesawing motion.
Hi, my name is Blake Bachner and I'm a third-year dental student here at West Virginia. Today we're going to talk about the sights and sounds of a dental office. So first thing we're going to pick up whenever you're in the chair is a nice mirror and a tooth counter. And we're going to make sure we have to turn our light on before we take a look into your mouth. And we know that it's really bright into your eyes. That's why we're gonna make sure we give you a cool pair of sunglasses. After we look in the mouth with our mirror and our tooth counter, we have to shake out all those sugar bugs. Now it might sound scary, but all our shaker does is blow a bunch of air and water and make a high-pitched sound to get those sugar bugs out.
For any parents watching, it's very important that children are brought in as soon as they have teeth. This usually is about 6 months after they're born, and when we get them in, we can create a positive experience. That way the child isn't afraid of the dentist in the future, as well as maintaining their health as they grow older.
Now let's go to Meshea Poore. She's WVU's Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion to talk about another important subject.
Hello friends, Meshea Poore here, Vice President for the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at West Virginia University. Let's talk. Today, let's talk about common unity or community. There's something special about that feeling of being a part of something larger than yourself, that feeling of having a place to belong. I hold on to a spirit of celebration because I believe in the potential of who we are and who we can become. We as individuals get to choose each day what role we play in our communities. We work together as one community, we build momentum to make sure everyone's voice is heard and there's fair opportunity for everyone. We are stronger when everyone is included, and we can only move forward if we move forward together. Building and celebrating community is my job and your job. It takes all of us. In order for us to see the best of ourselves, we must embrace everyone and ensure that we are intentionally inclusive in our actions. I know we can do it because I know our courage, our creativity, and our conviction. What matters is that each of us cares about the human condition and every member of our community. Like they say, when you know better, you do better, and we all can do better. See you next time.
We've already met Mary Roush. She's WVU's 68th Mountaineer mascot, but we got her again to ask even more quirky questions. Let's see what she has to say.
My favorite thing about the state of West Virginia is the people, and I love how everybody comes together as one, no matter where you're from. The thing I love most about West Virginia University is just the culture, and again, no matter where you're from, even if you're from out of state, everybody kind of comes together as one and as family. A lot, which means a whole lot of push-ups. Definitely over 500. They smell like leather, so if you've ever smelled like a leather purse or anything like that, that's exactly what they smell like, and I don't think they're ever gonna lose that smell either. The buckskins were measured to fit me exactly. But I've already lost weight since becoming the Mountaineer, so they're a little big, but they'll fluctuate. But yeah, they're made for me and me only. No, actually this rifle has been passed down from the two previous Mountaineers, so it went from Tenny Colson into me. So I'm the third Mountaineer to hold this rifle, and I will pass it down to somebody next year. So I keep things in there to go along with the rifle. So I have like my scale that I measure my powder with and my caps that go on the rifle when I'm ready to shoot. But other than that, I keep things like my keys, my phone, my wallet. These buckskins don't have any pockets. So really my possibles bag acts as a purse or just my pockets. And no, I will be the Mountaineer just for 1 year. It's a 1-year term, and then after that, next spring there'll be another selection process, and I'll pass it down to the next Mountaineer. If I had a superpower, I would definitely pick mind reading, because I always want to know what other people are thinking. I think it'd be cool to read other people's minds. Pepperoni roll, definitely. I really liked reading Junie B. Jones when I was younger. She was definitely my favorite, and I would say those are probably my favorite books. When I was younger, I used to always love to play kickball at recess with my friends, and we would always have somebody be the umpire too, which made it a lot more fun because then we would call outs when people were safe and things like that, and made it a lot more fun. My favorite thing about school is definitely sporting events. This past year, I've loved going to sports with my friends and being able to dress up in fun WVU outfits and then just cheer really loud. So that's definitely a fun atmosphere, and I'm excited to do it this year as the Mountaineer. which will be really fun and crazy.
Now let's meet up with those Wild Owens to talk about box turtles.
Hello everyone, I am Sheldon Owen, Extension Wildlife Specialist with the West Virginia University Extension Service, and today I have a little eastern box turtle that I want to introduce to you. This is one of our 14 species of turtles that can be found here in West Virginia. This turtle is unique because it is completely terrestrial. It spends its entire life on land. Our other turtles are out in the ponds and streams and creeks near and in water. You'll never find an eastern box turtle out basking in the middle of a pond. They're going to be found in our forests of West Virginia, so they prefer deciduous forests, which are deciduous trees, those trees that lose their leaves every year, or mixed deciduous and conifer forests. They will be found crossing fields and maybe backyards, but they spend most of their time in the forest. They are a terrestrial species. So they're found in forests. They are omnivorous, which means they eat both plant and animal material. And so they'll be eating on clovers and plantains like you see in front of us, or grasses. They'll also eat fruits, berries such as a wild strawberry. They also are carnivorous to some extent because they'll eat slugs and snails. They're turtles are very slow, so they have to go after slow moving prey. So think about a slug or a snail is not able to escape. We can tell this an eastern box turtle, or one of the reasons why it gets its name is because the plastron, the belly shell itself, actually has a hinge. So when I pick it up or some predator were to try to feed on it or attack it, it can enclose completely within its shell and be protected. So this is very hard. Turtles are reptiles, so very similar to snakes and lizards. Now they look different because they carry this shell around all the time, but this is actually part of their body, and you can see that their backbone is fused into their shell. Maybe you can see the little ridge right there of how it's fused into its shell. But if you look at their skin, they have scales, they have claws on their fingertips, and so they are reptiles. They're cold-blooded. Their temperature is regulated by the environments which they live in. They are active from about April through October every year. They'll breed during that time. Females will lay a single nest every year, on average about 4 or 5 eggs per nest. And the gender of the hatchlings, and so whether they'll be male or female, boy or girl, is determined by the temperature of the eggs. So if those eggs stay at about 70 to 80 degrees, all the hatchlings will be male. If the temperatures go above 82 degrees, all the hatchlings will be female. So temperature actually determines which sex or which gender the hatchlings will be. We can tell that this is a male because one, of that red color, the red iris or the red eye, and two, when we look at the plastron, the belly shell, it actually curves in, or it's concave. Our eastern box turtle populations here in West Virginia are actually declining. A few reasons for that. One is habitat loss. The places where they live, we're actually losing or damaging, fragmenting some of those places where they live. We have some diseases which have been introduced into the state which are causing death or killing some of these animals. They also have a lot of road mortality, or they're killed while they're trying to cross the road. They're very slow moving, cars are traveling very fast, and they can't avoid them or get out of the way. So we have a lot of these that are hit on the road and killed on the road. They're also, because they're such a beautiful animal, and people think that they would make a good pet, we have a lot of people that collect these and take them home to try to make them into pets. And they don't make very good pets. And I always emphasize, hey, these are wild animals and we need to keep them in the wild. I actually found this one while it was crossing the road. And so in that situation, I wanted to make sure that this one was safe. So first, we made sure that it was safe for us to stop. We got out of the car, picked it up. If you ever want to move one and we want to help move it across the road, always move it to the side of the road in the direction of which it was traveling. So if it was crossing to the right, I want to take it across to the right and release it on that side of the road. That way, if I take it back from where it came from, it's just going to try to cross the road at a later time and could potentially get killed while it was crossing it. So if you ever see one crossing the road and it's safe to do so, please stop and take it to the side of the road in which it was traveling. If you ever try to pick up a turtle, be very careful. You can hold it by its sides. You have to be careful, that could scratch or cut you. And also, if you look at the beak, its mouth, if it were to bite or reach around and bite you, that would definitely leave a mark. So be very careful when we pick these things up. We are both excited you could join us today. We want to encourage you to get out and explore, visit a state park, a national forest, a national park. Just get outdoors here in West Virginia and see the natural world, see what you can find out in our wild and wonderful West Virginia.
On to the next segment.
I'm Alex Coffman, Grant County 4-H Extension Agent, and I'm here to help you learn some breathing through mindfulness. It's great for when you're stuck at home and getting frustrated, or when you have been at work for a long time, or just need a breather, need a break from people. So breathing is a great tool, and there are actually a lot of different ways for breath and a lot of different things that breath does and brings to the table. So what I want us to do first before we start our breath exercise is I want us to chime in. I'm bringing you these activities through a new 4-H curriculum called GEM, which is Getting Experience in Mindfulness. It's an excellent curriculum, and the activities are for everyone, which is excellent. So the first one is chiming in. This is a singing bowl, and a lot of times sound helps us concentrate and bring ourselves inward. So the first thing we're going to do is chime in to concentrate, so only focus on this sound. Excellent. So I hope that brought you into the sense of what we're doing here with breath. The first breathing activity we'll do is just breath awareness. There's nothing special about this other than it makes you realize what you're doing as far as breathing. So for all these exercises, I want you to sit cross-legged or in a chair on your knees. Sit up straight, bringing your shoulders back and down so you have that straight spine, so you have plenty of air and space to breathe. The first breathing activity is bringing awareness to our breath, and all we're going to do is breathe in and count 1 and breathe out. So the first start is breathing in. So 1. We do this 5 times. 2. 3. 4. 5. That gets us started into the breathing exercises. 5 breaths of only awareness. You can close your eyes if you choose to. It helps you concentrate and calm down more, but if you're not comfortable with that, you can keep your eyes open to keep watching the video. So moving on, a breath that we also have in our toolkit. So I'm basically giving you a breathing toolkit that you can use at any point whenever you feel, again, frustrated, stressed, upset, tired. Breath brings a lot to the table. Our next one's called 4-7-8 breathing. And this one can be used to help relax the nervous system. So if you're stressed out or nervous, it decreases kind of internal tension and stress, and it can help you with falling asleep. So this one I'll explain, and then we'll do it once together, and then you can do it as well. You inhale gently through your nose while counting to 4 in your mind. You hold your breath while counting to 7, and then you release it by counting to 8, and that's 1 cycle. So we're gonna try 2 cycles together actually, so you can get the hang of it. So remember, 4 in, hold 7, 8 out. 4, 7, 8. So let's try it. So I counted on my fingers to help you see, but 4 in, hold 7, 8 out. Let's try it one more time. perfect. So that's 4-7-8 breathing, helps with calming, tension relief, and going to sleep. The next one is one of my favorites. It's called bunny breath. This one is good for if you've been, either upset and crying, or you're running and you want to catch your breath. So it's reminiscent of a bunny when you use it. So we go in through your nose 4 times and then along out. So what we do is this oxygenates our body. So in through our nose 3 times and out. So through your mouth. So in 3 to 4 times depending, and then out through your mouth. So it's reminiscent of a bunny that you're using your nose like that, wiggling it, short breaths in. So this really oxygenates your body. You may yawn, but it helps if you're kind of upset and you need that extra oxygen in. So one more time. In 3 times and out. So I like that one a lot, and it's good for when it's reminiscent of what you do when you cry anyway. So your body naturally wants that extra oxygen when you're upset, or when you've been running and trying to catch your breath. So bunny breath is another one for your toolkit. So far we have 4-7-8 and bunny breath. And the last one I'm going to show you is whale breath. This one's fun, and it can be used for when you're, need to move a little more with your arms or legs, or when you need some relaxation, deep breaths. So this one uses your arms here, and we go up, and then you release it with like a whale noise. So, whoo. So try it again. Up. Whoo. So that's especially fun with kids if you're out there. That may be your favorite one. So whale breath is the last one, and it gets you moving. You can do it standing or sitting, but that's a good breath for like kind of just getting it all out there, moving around a little bit. So for your toolkit, remember to chime in or focus in on a sound. That first 5 breath awareness to just even realize that you're breathing, because we don't think about it all day long. Then you have bunny breath for when you're trying to get that oxygen in. You have 4-7-8 when you're trying to relax or go to sleep, release that tension. And then you have whale breath for kind of a movement, general full body breath there. So thanks for joining me. I hope you did some of these breaths right in front of your computer or phone, and I hope that you continue to use them and think about them and get a little relaxation this week.
There's a candy store right down the street from our studio, and I went in there the other day and I found the owner dipping peanuts and almonds into this glitter stuff. I said, dude, that has to taste terrible. And he said, that's what I thought, but people seem to love it. Pretty nuts, right?
Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm with the WVU Extension Service Family Nutrition Program. And today I'm going to share with you a recipe that's called overnight oats. There's a lot of time when we don't have time to think about breakfast, and this is something you can put together the night before, and you put it in the refrigerator, and the next morning it's ready for you to go, and it's very convenient. You can take it along with you as you go to work or as you go to school. So here we go. First thing we need to do, of course, with any recipe is to go ahead and wash our hands. I've already done that, but just make sure your hands are clean. A few more things is the different type of fruit that you use for your overnight oats. You always want to make sure that you rinse that off as well. I've used blueberries, and I've also washed off my blueberries here. So we're going to start, and we're going to put together our overnight oats just in a quart jar. We're going to use a little bit of oats, only about 1/4 cup. We're going to put that in the bottom. You can use either old-fashioned oats or you can use quick oats. So we're going to put that in the bottom of our quart jar. Just a little bit of skim milk. It is only about 1/8 cup of milk. I'll layer that on top of my oats. Next, we have a little bit of low-fat yogurt, 1/2 cup. I'm going to layer that in on top of our milk. The fruit I have picked are blueberries. You can pick blueberries, strawberries, just any pineapple, just any fruit that you like. Even chopped up apples would be good. So we'll put these blueberries in. And I've chosen a little bit of cinnamon. I'll sprinkle that on top. A little bit of peanut butter. Add some protein in there. And then just a little bit of vanilla down in there. So then we will just simply put our lid on. And you see it's all layered up, and the oats that are in the bottom, they'll take up the milk and the yogurt and it'll soften those oats up, and we'll just put the lid on, and then it's ready to go in our refrigerator. So here we have our overnight oats. They have sat in the refrigerator overnight, and our oats are nice and soaked up with our yogurt and our milk, and it has softened them up. So you will just take the lid off, and when you're ready to eat breakfast, you can just mix it up a little bit, mix your fruit in with your peanut butter, and you get your oats from the bottom, and it's just a meal in a quart jar that has all these food groups. We've got protein in the peanut butter, we have fruit in the blueberries, we have dairy in the yogurt and the milk. So you just kind of mix it up, and you have your grain, of course, in your oatmeal. So a healthy breakfast should include at least 3 of your 5 food groups, and we have that in our overnight oats. It should be very low in saturated fat, very low in added sugars, and very high in fiber. And I think our overnight oats, it qualifies on all 3 of those points. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Energy Express. We'll be right back here tomorrow. We hope you will too. We'll see you then.